Hey, and welcome to Astrology for the People. This is for the new moon in Libra on Tuesday the 13th of October at 11:07 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So it's an astrological forecast. We're going to touch on what the planets are doing, but much more so it's about how we can work with those influences to flow with the cosmic tides rather than against them. So thank you for joining me. I will dive in. Hey there, beautiful people. Wow, it's an everything's just a bit interesting. I've got a lot that I want to share with you today. I want to work really hard to condense it a bit though, rather than going on and on and on. I've noticed my videos have been getting longer, and it's because I enjoy talking to you so much. I can get a little bit carried away. But I want to start with what I really noticed when I sat down with this chart this morning for the new moon on Tuesday. And that's this sense of, I guess, possibility, or almost, I think the words that came to me were like a bit of a quantum gap. So the best way for me to explain this is probably, as I've been looking at the charts each fortnight for the last probably 2 months or so. I just hurt my foot. That was grounding. For the last 2 months or so, there's been this sense of inevitability that's been unfolding. So as I've brought each chart up, I've looked at it and thought, yes, of course, that's the natural next step from what flowed last fortnight with the new moon or the full moon previous. But with this chart, it's a little bit different. I noticed as soon as I brought this chart up this morning, I was like, I don't know what to do with this. It really took me a few minutes of sitting with it. And it was once I spotted the sun moon opposite Uranus that it made a lot more sense. And there's this real potential at the moment to do things differently. So it feels like what's flowing on from this new moon in Libra, it doesn't feel at all set. It's almost like this little gap in the destiny timeline where anything's possible. And that's really what I felt with this sun Uranus opposition, is this sense of possibility, potentiality, freedom. It's revolutionary. And, you know, that might be on a grand scale, and we're obviously seeing a lot going on in the world at the moment. There's not as much being said in the mainstream media as what is actually taking place if you dig a bit beneath the surface. But yeah, lots of possibilities to do things differently here. So the first thing that I wanted to lay on the table for you today was experiment. Now is a great time to experiment and to actually see life as this opportunity to explore different ways of doing things and different ways of being, and to realize that we don't need to take it all so seriously, and we can just, trial, how does this work for me? How does that work for me? And this is particularly going to show up in relation to this kind of grand theme that we've got going on at the moment, which is the healing of the wounds of the patriarchy. So I want to kind of explore this gently because I feel like men cop a really bad rap, and it's not fair. We speak about the masculine and the feminine, and I just want to make it really clear that when I speak about the masculine, I'm not referring to men. And when I speak about the feminine, I'm not referring to women. We have both within all of us, yeah? And obviously, most women identify more strongly with that feminine essence. Most men identify more strongly with the masculine. But nonetheless, we have both of these forces within us. And the feminine within us as women and also within men has been wounded by the way that we've been doing things for the last 2,000 odd years. We're living in a world that isn't supportive of our needs moment by moment. It doesn't encourage us to express our feelings. It doesn't encourage us to do these things, to enter into real, authentic relationship. We're told instead to be nice, don't rock the boat, stiff upper lip, chin up, come on, get on with it, harden up. And it's in a time now where I spoke about this Lilith influence last fortnight. We're in a time now where that's not working for people anymore. It's literally just not working anymore. So with this new Uranus opposition coming up, I'm really going to encourage you, as an extension from last fortnight, to just play with doing things a little bit differently. We're coming into a month where, with Mercury having gone direct now, Venus is out of the shadow zone, it's a good time for some solid labor and some really great forward movement with our goals and with our ideas, as long as we keep things steady. But at the same time, try doing things a little differently. The words that came to me this morning were change the way we do pretty much everything. And you know, that doesn't all happen at once. It's all good. I'm standing on one foot here. Yeah. Libra balance. I didn't do it intentionally. Yeah, so change the way we do pretty much everything and just open up those blinkers a bit, I guess, and realize that there is more than one way to do things and that we have a tendency to lull into patterns of behavior, which is natural. It's human. But yeah, there are different ways that we can explore doing things. And we want to be careful because there is a little bit of an explosive energy. You know, with this new moon, we've got Mars within 2 degrees of Jupiter. So, you know, this is kind of, there's a lot of passion there. And when things have been repressed for a long time and then they come to the surface, it's really easy to just go bleh. Which isn't necessarily going to be that helpful right now. We do want to liberate what we're feeling and we do want to let it out, but we want to remember that there is this focus in Libra at the moment. And we did have this last eclipse really moving us towards that Libran energy. And what I've been doing lately, and what I'd really encourage you to do as well, is practice empathetic listening first. So I've been shifting my focus. Anytime I hear someone say anything to me, I'm looking for what is the feeling behind what's being said and what's the need behind that feeling. So this is all of that nonviolent communication stuff that I've told you guys to get into in the past. Such a good time for it. Look up Marshall Rosenberg. He's amazing. And yeah, but realizing that, you know, we need to own our needs and we need to claim our needs, but we can be obnoxious in that if we're not careful. And so a really great starting point is to first just tap into where that other person's at so that, well, firstly, we're not going to take things as personally that are coming from them, and that's going to allow us to operate from a more centered space where we're going to be less reactive. And secondly, people are going to be a lot more open to receiving us and what we have to say if we're open to receiving them. We can't expect to lay all our needs on the table and have those honored if we're not also able to hear the needs of others. So it's a great time to practice being a good listener, and just, yeah, connect with what that feels like. We've been told that being a good listener is, you know, reassuring or trying to save the other person from their feelings. And that's actually not the case at all. We can't connect empathetically with another person if we're operating from that space. Yeah, I'm not going to go into a full rant about NVC now, but definitely dig into that. I'm just going to check what else I wanted to tell you before I get too carried away. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up. The thing to be aware of in this fortnight is not to get obsessive. We do have Pluto trine Jupiter within about 2 degrees, I think. It's almost exactly trine Mars. So, yeah, this couple of weeks coming up. And in that, there could be a tendency to get a little obsessive, particularly with all this Virgo energy that is still flying around. So yeah, that being the case, I would suggest that the goal be connection, not perfection. So if we're striving to connect, we're going to have a lot more success in relating to others than if we're trying to get the relationship perfect, because the relationship's never going to be perfect. And this isn't just your significant other. This is your relationship with everyone in your life, one-on-one. It's the way we relate to others that we're looking at the moment. So yeah, that one's on the table, and I think that was about it, really. Yeah, like I said, this chart feels like a bit of an anomaly, and I think because the deepest influences in it are in earth signs. Everything's kind of, yeah, it doesn't have the same, trying to put words to the energy that I was picking up on this morning. It's just, yeah, there's a sense of openness rather than the same churning that's been unfolding the last bit. And there can definitely still be some upheaval, like I said, with that Uranus, but it's a lot lighter and it's a lot freer. And let's, you know, get a little bit playful with this now. There's a tendency with all this Virgo to get a bit serious as well. And it's great for us to be able to step up and, you know, be in a really mature space with ourselves and with each other. But you can hear the truck thundering up the road there. They're doing roadworks at the moment. That makes me serious. Life's a game. You know, not a game as in manipulative, but a game as in like, We have infinite choices at every single moment. Let's not get so weighed down with everything. Yeah. And there was one quote that I wanted to leave you with that actually came out of my almanac. Believe it or not, Austin Coppock releases an astrological almanac every year, and I always check in with him after I do a new moon or a full moon chart to see what he has to say. And he said, there's no power without endurance, and there's no endurance without support. So I'm just going to let that one sit with you as I leave you to the rest of your day or evening. There's no power without endurance, and there's no endurance without support. So I just encourage you to connect with that. And that's, you know, that's also this feminine that we need to create space for under the masculine doing, forward, driving, the way that it's been done for a long time, where we're not encouraged to ask for support. Now's a great time to ask for support. Yeah, don't hesitate. Okay, I'm going to wrap it there. I'm going to keep it short, beautiful people. I'm officially opening my space out here on Friday, which is exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. You can come out here and see me if you want to. I'm just over an hour out of Brizzy. And we're on quartz and sandstone and trees, and the roadworks will be done by then, hopefully. We're on a dirt road, so they're grading. Yeah. Come out and see me here. I'm in Brisbane on the 17th and 18th. So the afternoon of the 17th, morning of the 18th. I'm available for sessions in Annalee. So that's astrology, energy healing, energetic bodywork. Yeah. It'd be lovely to connect with some more of you in person and keep your feedback coming. I love hearing from you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And yeah, I'll see you soon, lovely ones. Ciao.